I've got to be honest with you, I'm going to be a little sad with football kicking off here in just a couple of days because it has been one hell of a baseball season for me and hopefully for you if you put your faith in me to make you money, because that's what I've done. Over the past 3 months, I've made myself a lot of money. I've made you a lot of money. And I've proven to you once again that baseball is the easiest sport to make money in. But again, I've never understood why so many handicappers and gamblers either disappear right after the Super Bowl or right after March Madness, because they miss the easiest sport to make money in. I just don't get it. And with football coming up, well, the problem there is football takes so much time to do research. It's an exhaustive process, day in, day out. But if you want to win in football, you got to put in the hours. And that's what I do, because this is my job, and this is what I do 7 days a week, 365 days a year. But unlike the past 3 months, I can't dedicate myself entirely to baseball. Now, if I wasn't doing this, I have to be honest with you, I probably would just keep betting baseball over the next couple of weeks, ignore the first few days of the football season. And yet, I also know that the opening weeks of any season, it's the only time you have the advantage over the odds makers. So that's the quandary. Do you keep betting baseball where I've made a ton of money and I'm going to keep making money? Or do you take advantage of the softest lines you're going to find all year long in any sport the opening weeks of the season? That's the dilemma. So you got to split your time. You got to handicap football, and on Saturdays and Sundays when you should be totally focused on college football and the NFL, you still got to keep baseball in the back of your mind. So that's why I'm a little sad. You know, it makes a lot more work for me, but there's still plenty of money to be made. So I hope you've made it, because there's nothing better than starting the football season with a huge bankroll, which you should have if you've been following me over the past 3 months, and playing with somebody else's money at this point of the season. That's the great thing. So it's been fun. On a personal standpoint, it's been great because if you're a regular follower, you know, well, hell, this is the first time in 3 summers that I've actually been healthy. I haven't had to take time off because of various health issues. Hell, I'm also, God, this is like my lowest playing weight. I think I've lost 35 pounds, almost 40 pounds. This is my lowest playing weight, lowest I've been probably in 8 or 9 years. So I've always equated the football season and the basketball season, because the grind that you've got to go through as a handicapper and running these sites from September through the end of March Madness, it's like you got to prepare for the summer and get in shape to get through the grind of the season. So for me personally, being in great shape going into these next 9 months, couldn't ask for anything better. I might even be in a happy mood. I wouldn't count on it. So let's talk at this point, before I get to this day in history and the free play, about the hottest handicappers at the site. And that would be me, and me. Why? Because I didn't bet any of the preseason football games. That's why. I warned you not to. Trace Adams decided to yesterday. How was that double your wager preseason game of the year play on the Buffalo Bills? Another loser. Yeah. Josh Allen looked really good. He couldn't have quarterbacked the high school team. Of course, a high school team offensive line could have afforded him better protection than the Bills did yesterday, right? That's the problem. So what did you gain? And what did you gather from the first 3 weeks of preseason football action? What was your takeaway from all this that you've watched? Absolutely nothing, because the games meant absolutely nothing, other than the fact that the owners robbed season ticket holders of their hard-earned money for these 3 weeks of games. But that's another day and another story. So, listen, I won again yesterday, another Raise the Bar 20-dime release, which you shouldn't have been surprised. The Phillies beat the Toronto Blue Jays 8-3 to salvage the final game of that 3-game series, and that means I'm going to come back with yet another Raise the Bar 20-dime play today. Number 21 out of 30 since 5 Fridays ago. It's my line strategy lock of the month, and just like all the others, you get it for half price off as I go for winning day number 40 out of 59 by using coupon code RAISE, R-A-I-S-E. The other hot handicapper would be Chuck O'Brien, who yesterday hit the 11th ever 100-dime play of his career in baseball when he scored with the Arizona Diamondbacks as a $1.20 run line dog over Seattle. You got it for over half price off. Today as the 12th ever 100-dime play, and it's on the Oakland Houston series. He's either going with the A's as a $1.60 money line dog, or the Astros as a $1.15 Run Line Dog. Just like yesterday's play, you get it for over half price off by using coupon code CHUCK. So there you go. Without further ado, let's get to today, this day in history. A couple of sad notes. First, to lead it off, unfortunately, on this day, back in 1967, Beatles manager Brian Epstein was found dead. Coroner ruled it was an accidental drug overdose from a combination of alcohol and sleeping pills, I believe. 1990, guitarist Stevie Ray Vaughan was killed in a helicopter crash. 1991, Pearl Jam released their first album, 10. It was not a huge commercial success initially. In fact, it did not make a break into the top 10 on the Billboard 200 album chart until the following May. So about 9-10 months to really break into the top 10 on the album chart. But it did spawn 3 big hit singles, Jeremy, Alive, and Even Flow. And of course, Pearl Jam really was at the forefront of that grunge era. They were the band, them and Nirvana, of course, but Pearl Jam really was the front of that era. In 1994, Boyz II Men started a 14-week run at #1 on the Billboard Top 100 Singles Chart with their song I'll Make Love to You. It dethroned Lisa Loeb's Stay, which was from that movie starring Ethan Hawke and all those other people, and I can't remember that movie, from a 3-week perch at the top of the charts. And here's the irony. So Lisa Loeb's song replaced another group's ballad that had an 11-week run at the top of the charts. And that was All for One. And their song was I Swear. Now, I want you to test your memory for a second because I'm going to say this to you. Boyz II Men, I'll Make Love to You. Immediately your mind's thinking, I'll make love to you. You can hear those guys crooning, the harmonies. Now, I want you just to think of something. All for One, I Swear. You can hum that tune. I Swear, right? Now, I just want to ask you one thing. If you can think of those two songs, aren't they the same damn song? They're the same damn song. 25 weeks combined out of 28, these two groups had the same damn song at the top of the charts. What was wrong? And it's not you guys. It was your wives, your girlfriends, maybe your mistresses, but I'm not going to hold that against you. It was their fault that these two groups were dominating the airwaves back in 1994. It was the same damn song, I'm just telling you. So anyway, after all those weeks, 14 straight weeks, Boyz II Men at the top of the charts, who knocked them off the top of the charts? Well, it was their follow-up single on Bended Knee, which I think was the same damn song as the other two damn songs. It was a lousy year. I look back in 1994, only 6 songs. 6 songs in all were at the top of the charts. This wasn't like the Beatles in 1965. This wasn't like the Beach Boys in 1963, where, you know, every other week these two groups had songs at the top of the charts. This is Boyz II Men. And I was going to complain about grunge music in a minute. Okay. I feel better now. I got this off my chest. Much, much better. Let's get to your free pick. Really, if you have things you got to get off your chest, I suggest you get a daily video report. It's really good therapy. Okay, I'm going to go with Philadelphia because I used the Phillies yesterday. I don't know if I put money on them again today, but I do like them tonight. It's a rematch of the pitching matchup last week in Washington. Steven Strasburg and Zach Eflin. Phillies jumped on Strasburg early. It was his first start since coming off the disabled list. He did not look good. His velocity was down, especially in the final inning of that 4-inning stint. His fastball was only being clocked a little bit over 92 miles an hour. And again, he was not very sharp in that game. Gave up a couple of homers, and let me just see if I can find his box score here. I had it here listed somewhere. His first start, he gave up 5 runs on 7 hits, 2 homers in 4 innings. But how do you figure what you're going to get from him today? Now, Zach Eflin, he wasn't any better. It was a game the Phillies gave them an early lead. Their bullpen gave up that lead. Washington came back and won the game. Eflin, 3 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs. The Phillies have lost 5 of his last 7 starts, and in that 7-start stretch, his earned run average is 5.60. Now, that's in his last 7 starts. In his 6 starts prior, he went 6-0 with a 1.91 ERA. What do you know? Who you're going to get tonight? I say, my hunch is, you might get the Zach Eflin, who is 6-1 in 8 home starts with a 3.51 ERA. You might get the Phillies team that's 41-22 at home this season. You might get the Phillies team that found their offense the past 2 days in Toronto. Because when the Phillies hit, they hit in bunches. When they go south, their offense dries up and they can't buy a hit. I like the Phillies tonight. Practically pick them at home against the Nationals team. Remember, they won 15-0 yesterday against the Mets, but it was a 1-0 game in the 8th inning, and that was a Nationals team that had been shut out in their 3 prior games. I also like Colorado minus $1.45 tonight against Los Angeles. That's the Angels in Anaheim. The Rockies are going with John Gray. I used him as a 20-dime raise-the-bar winner in his last start. Since they demoted him to the minors back in middle of July, he's made 7 starts since being brought back to the majors. He's 3-0 with a 2.59 earned run average in them. I like the way the Rockies have been playing. The Angels have not been playing well. They've lost 6 straight, 8 of their last 9. I think this is a pretty cheap price. I thought I would have had to lay the 1.5 runs with the Rockies. I'm going to go with Colorado in this one. Colorado and Philadelphia are 2 complimentary plays, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.